It turns out that WWE had some massive plans for Jade Cargill at WrestleMania 41, in which they scrapped in favor of doing the Naomi storyline. In today's video, we are going to be breaking down everything you need to know, including what those major plans were for Jade Cargill, who will become a future women's WWE champion. Yep, I'm going to get the outrage sparks right now in today's video. So the Jade Cargill Naomi match, it was very well done. I actually think the build to it was better done. It was very, very good. Okay. Now, I'll be honest, it did not make a lot of sense in the beginning. Okay. Let's kick it back a minute because I think you need to set the scene. So we had a situation in which Jade Cargill came to WWE in the fall of 2023. Big deal, right? They made her signing a massive deal. And they had her go on TV and tease signing with Raw, NXT, SmackDown. And what did he do? She ended up signing with SmackDown. And so what they did was, instead of doing what she was known to do in AEW, they went in a different direction and they paired her up with Bianca Belair. They turned her into a babyface and they made her a tag team player. And that was good. And they became 2-time tag team champions. And they were really the heart and soul of the women's tag team division. Now, let's kick it into gear. So we get into the fall of 2024. You're watching a random episode of SmackDown. You're probably thinking, well, this show's really long. And all of a sudden, we see Jade Cargill laid out in the parking lot on top of a car. She's a bloody mess. Looks like one of those cartoons where someone falls off a building. It was bad, right? They're like, oh, she must be injured. And then there was conflicting reports. She's injured. She's not injured. This is a storyline. This is not a storyline. And everyone's losing their minds and they don't know what's going on. And then there starts to be reports of, hey, she's got a lot of backstage heat going on. And not a lot of people in that women's locker room likes her. She returns at the Elimination Chamber in March. And she goes right after what appeared to be Liv Morgan, only to swerve everyone and go after Naomi. And so that starts the build towards her WrestleMania match. And it was a good build, right? Like, Jade got her comeuppance, Naomi got her comeuppance. They really, really made Naomi a serious threat. She got new ring entrance music. She got a new look. Her character is different. And props to Naomi. She's really, really taken hold of this character, and she's doing really good work. And Jade Cargill is showing a different side to herself, right? She's showing more of a resemblance of her AEW run. Well, it's ironic that at a time in which WWE is coming off of WrestleMania, they're also promoting new stuff, including the upcoming WWE Unreal television show. Now, this TV show is going to be airing on Netflix sometime this summer, and the trailer for it dropped this week. And they were showing various aspects, and basically this show is about the WWE creative process, okay? Now, there is a still shot out there of a whiteboard. And this show was filmed leading up to WrestleMania. Royal Rumble plans, Elimination Chamber plans, WrestleMania plans. And on that whiteboard, it has Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax for the Women's Championship. Oh, wait a minute. You're telling me that WWE had plans to do Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax? Whoa, this would have unsettled a lot of things. Think of it as like a ribbon on a present. You had a million ribbons you had to rip off of this thing, okay? So first of all, you would have nixed Jade versus Naomi. Don't know what Naomi would have done on the show. It would have nixed Tiffany Stratton cashing in Money in the Bank, beating Nia Jax for the championship. It would have unsettled at least Charlotte Flair challenging for the women's title. She could have challenged for something else. She would have done something else, because I think they had it as Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. So I don't know what Charlotte would have done. Okay. It would have unsettled Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. It would have unsettled Nia Jax not having a match on the show. It would have unsettled the historical moment of Jade Cargill versus Naomi, the first ever singles women's match at a WrestleMania since 2006. It would have unsettled Tiffany Stratton beating Charlotte Flair for the women's title to retain it. There's so much that this would have undone. So, did WWE make the right call? Now, longtime viewers of this channel will know, and I appreciate y'all. I am a Jade Cargill fan, and I think that she has a ton of upside. I've seen the criticism. I understand it. I get it. Some people think she's overrated. Some people think she can't work. Some people think she can't get a promo. I get it. I get it. Some of it I agree with. She's very green. I think they made the right call in not doing Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. And for two different reasons. One, I like the fact that they did not put Jade in a situation in which she would be challenging for the women's title so early on. Okay? Because if she's booked in that match, I don't like the outcomes either way. Right? If she loses, not a good look. Okay? You've beaten her so early and in such a big time match. Don't like that. If she wins, I don't think she's ready for it. And I think there would be a huge backlash among fans. Massive. So then on the flip side of that, if you go through with it, then we don't get Jade versus Naomi. In Naomi's case, she needed this match. This is a massive, massive match. It's a massive feud. It's arguably her best feud in her career. And it's not all because of Jade Cargill. I would say Naomi has done probably 70% of the lifting of the storyline. You have to be if you're the heel, in my opinion. So I think they did the right call. Yes, they scrapped major plans. Yes, they scrapped Jade Cargill challenging for a women's championship. They scrapped her potentially winning the women's championship. But I think they made the right call. I really do. Then, on the flip side of this, it's like, I think they made the right call for Tiffany Stratton. I think they made the right call for Charlotte Flair. Tiffany, not only feuding with Charlotte, it helped elevate her. Her beating Charlotte Flair, retaining the women's title at WrestleMania, that elevated her even more. That made her a bigger star. So, instead of doing what they initially planned, they actually elevated more people than just what they would have done, which was Jade Cargill. Because, Nia Jax probably would have lost the title. She had a great year, but I don't think it would have helped her any. Okay, she wasn't even on the card this year. Probably a disservice. So instead of helping one star, you're helping multiple stars. So therefore, I think WWE made the right call. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. And I will see y'all in the next video.